Welcome guys in a new video on my YouTube channel, and I want to thank you so much guys for your kind messages on my LinkedIn profile. Ask me where I'm gonna upload again on my YouTube channel, and here I am. Today I just came back with a really something so special, and specifically we're gonna talk about password managers. Let's deal on something that using a password managers nowadays, it's not even an optional thing, it's a must. So that's why we're gonna talk about something I personally use, which is Passbolt. Passbolt is a fabulous password managers that really offer a lot of amazing features. In this video, I'm gonna show you how I set up that on my machine, and even we're gonna discover its various features. So before doing that, don't forget to hit a follow and let's do it. So the first thing that you want to do is just to go to their website, and basically here you can find more information. So let's start from the introduction of the product itself. So here it just tells you that it's an open source password and secret management, any business, any size. Okay, this is perfect. And you can see kind of here a preview of the solution itself. Now, if I want to just store a little bit here, from the beginning, it's just telling you that it offer that you can install that on a prem, and you can install or try that on a cloud. Okay, so for this video, we're gonna go with the installation on our machine. It means like we're gonna install that on a prem. Okay, so here they say like they have like collaboration of more than 50,000 organization worldwide are using a Passbolt, which is really great number, by the way. All right, so here, if I'm gonna just scroll a little bit, they tell us that your team can stop sharing credential, but Passbolt empowers them to do it securely. I like that sentence a lot because we know in the world of cybersecurity that sharing a credential is not really a good practice. But, it just makes you feel safe just saying that, from Passbolt. Really good one. So yeah, I think we can find more informations here. So let's go about what it offer when we talk about the security features. So here it just display for you their features and what it contain. Here we have like a randomly generated private key, end-to-end encryption, here we have a brute force protection, and even like a phishing resistant and one-to-one encryption. Okay, you can check that for more details, but they will offer a lot of things. All right, so and here, which is really an attractive thing, that you can run this natively on your own server. And this is what we're gonna do basically. We're gonna use a Docker. So here, actually, like if I want to just see more details, you can see here that it's really adaptive on a different operation systems and the platforms. So here, basically, it offers the Docker installation, Kubernetes, Ubuntu, even a Debian. What do we have here? So yeah, about the cloud, yeah, you can deploy that on your favorite cloud provider. This is really cool. So here we're talking about Amazon and DigitalOcean. Okay, this is really makes me more excited really to install and try it with you. Okay, so really it's a good introduction. Let's go to pricing, because I want to really check this. So, so here, as you can see, like it offer, a different or a various plans. So here that you have a community version, it's a for free, totally. It's an open source. It's my kind of things, I want to really try this once. So for $0, you will get, a password manager and sharing, private handshake for this. You have many really options that you really want to try that. You have like an open API, a password expiry. This is really cool. This is really awesome. For free, I think it's a really good plan. But here, absolutely, if you're a business, if you're an organization, you really want to try this one. And here, I like the way that the offer is flexible because here it depends on the users, it depends on the number, the need of users. Here they start with a 49 bucks for 10 users. So yeah, it depends here what you need, but absolutely you're gonna get here a Vim appliance and even that provisioning. So yeah, here basically how you can select, it depends on need and it depends if you're a business or individual. And absolutely here we have an enterprise one which is really custom. So you can check that in more details Another thing which is make it really super special that here, they're telling you that sync credential on all of your devices, which mean they have basically a mobile version, which is really great. And absolutely, you can download that from Play Store or in App Store. And even like, if you want to go for desktop apps, yeah, you can do it from Microsoft. Here, if you're talking about extensions, yeah, it's really adaptive on a lot of browsers, like the common one that we use, like Chrome, Brave, Firefox, and even like it's coming soon for Safari. In this video, I'm gonna use a Ubuntu machine, and I'm gonna implement Passbolt using a Docker. So here, as you can see, that as we just checked it before, that is adaptive on a lot of operation system, but we're gonna go with the Docker. So let's get started with this, and we can see the various steps. Okay, so let's see the next steps here. So here, first of all, for the system requirement, you're gonna need a Docker. Absolutely, you have just to download Docker, install there. A Docker Compose, a user able to run a Docker comments without sudo. And even like here, the advice if you have like an SMTP server for email notification and a working NTP service to avoid GPG authentication issues. So this is basically the requirement if you want to go with installation of Passbolt on your machine using Docker. So here we gonna land on my machine and I'm gonna absolutely just go step by step for the installation. So let's just land to the bench again. So first thing first, they tell you that you have to download a Docker Compose exam file. So again, you have to download a Docker, on your machine first, okay? And then absolutely you need the Docker Compose file from a Passbolt itself. So first of all, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna just, download this one. All right. So here, I'm gonna install Cur, right? Just make yourself suited always. So I need a curl here, just because it's a fresh machine. So yeah, it's one of requirement that you always gonna need it. All right. Yeah. So we are set up with the curl. Need to download the Docker Compose file, from the link provided through Basebolt one. Yeah. So fabulous. So we just downloaded Docker Compose. Awesome. So what we need next? So for the next step, what we really need, we have here, here we have like the share file. So this is basically gonna make us ensure that we downloaded the right file and it's not corrupted. So, okay, awesome. So what do we have here? Seems everything fine. I have the Docker Compose and I have like the chef file here. So for the next step, I think the download is kind of really well explained all the documentation. Here for the second step, we have to ensure that the file has not been corrupted. So by verifying that it's chosen, yeah, we have just to do that, and it's a super easy one. All what we want to just do is just to run this command. If we're gonna get okay, then we are okay. So perfect. Everything is fine. Seems not corrupted, and we download it with the correct way. So for the next step, you have to go to configure environment variables, in the Docker Compose file. So here, absolutely, you have to go and, put that in the Docker Compose file and fill it with the correct information, of course. After you do that, absolutely, you will need to start your containers. So basically, I'm not gonna use the command. I'm gonna use the graphical user interface management of a Docker, which is Portainer. So if this is the first time that you hear about Portainer, it's a kind of tools that really make the life easy for you if you want to manage your container with a graphical user interface. So that's why I'm going to share with you later in the description this file that's showing you how you can install Portainer. And so I'm going to go step by step, in order to install Portainer if you want to really do it. So first of all, if this is the first time you hear about Portainer, you need to download the Transport HTTP certifications. And later you go with, installing the GPG key. Okay, so we are in the right path. I'm gonna here determine it to make it really kind of clear for you. And after that, absolutely, you have just to echo this one. Just, when you copy paste the command, try not to let a space or something because this is really gonna affect the configurations. And absolutely, we have to update our APT since everything is fine. After that, you need just to apt the cache policy because we're gonna need that later, and we're gonna install the Docker itself. So here we're gonna install the Docker C. So it's super important steps. Try to verify, step by step that you're making the right copy paste one. All right, so let's just check everything is fine. Awesome. Right now, we're gonna just install Docker C. So because we're gonna need this one, and seems perfect. It's gonna consume about 150 megabytes, and we're gonna just install this one. All right. For the next step, let's check that officially you get a Docker. Okay, so yeah, here we have a Docker version 28.5.1. Yeah, it just satisfies the requirement. So what we're gonna do right now, we gonna go and try to set up Portainer. Here we're gonna create a volume for Portainer. Okay, so here they tell you that yes, you have to make Docker run. Okay, Docker fill. All right, so I'm gonna go with the restart. After that, don't forget just to run a Docker, and then we're gonna create a volume for the Portainer itself. Awesome. So the volume created, and then we gonna go and absolutely try to download the image of the Portainer to run it lately. Why I'm doing that again, because Portainer make it really super easy to deal with some Docker Compose files and even for managing your containers. And even Passbolt, they have a specific image for the front and they have a specific image for the database, which is based on a MariaDB. So again, I'm using Portainer because I know that it's going to help a lot in managing my containers. So all you have to do right now is just to point on 9000, which is the default port of a Portainer. So here, absolutely, it's gonna ask you to create a password. All right, I'm gonna go with creating a user. Here we have a fabulous interface. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna right now uh, go to absolutely pull the images of Passbolt. So all what I have to do is just to go to the template, then you move to the custom, and then add a custom template. I'm gonna name it here Passbolt. We need the description, which is a Passbolt again. Platform is a Linux. Okay, perfect. And right now, I'm gonna go to actually like the content of the Docker Compose file provided by Passbolt. I'm gonna just copy all of that and I'm gonna paste it here. And absolutely take care about the copy paste always because yeah, any kind of error, if you're gonna just miss out with the copy paste, maybe the operation not gonna be so successful. So take care about that. So here I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna click on create custom template, gonna click on a Passbolt, and absolutely we name this configuration a Passbolt, and we gonna deploy the stock. So deploying the stock is absolutely gonna pull the image and it's gonna configure basically all the necessary from the images, and which actually gonna create a container to access Passbolt later. All what you have to do right now is just to go to the containers, and you're gonna find that the database, the image of the database, the container is running. Also, the front is running too. So what we're gonna do right now is just we're gonna connect that with the CLI, and absolutely you can rename your container, using Portainer or whatever. So this is depend on you. So here we're gonna connect to the container of a Passbolt, and the next step is if you're gonna back to the documentation here, we're gonna find that as a next step, you have to create your first admin user. So yeah, you have here absolutely to go with this command. And again, we are not using a Docker Compose, so we're gonna take this command starting for the super user command. So yeah, you copy and paste that, you adjust it as one, and then I just did this. You're gonna just put here. All right, so since everything is fine, and it's gonna provide you a link as you can see. So here, it's a good sign that you are in the right path. So what are we gonna do right now? We're gonna just open this link in a new tab. Here we go. So here, as you can see that we are using an auto-signed certificate of a Passbolt. And later, if you want to just put our own auto-signing certificate, we're gonna do this. So here, we're gonna go to the advanced. You're gonna go to accept the risk. And here we go. This is the first step to access a Passbolt. So here we ask it us to download the extension, and I'm gonna add it to Firefox. Seems not really that kind of complicated. So we're gonna add the extension to our browser, and absolutely it's gonna give you an option if you gonna allow the extension in a private Windows. Yes, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go with the ad. So everything is totally fine. And here we go. This is basically the first steps. So here I'm gonna tell you, welcome to Passbolt. Please select a passphrase. The passphrase is the only passphrase you will need to remember from now. So choose wisely. All right, so I'm gonna just choose kind of like an easy passphrase, but this is only for test, okay? So don't do that. This, I want to make it simple. Okay, go ahead. We're gonna go next. So store your recovery kit in a safer place. You will need this recovery kit later to access your account, for example, on a new device. Okay, so this is cool. A download from recovery kit containing your secret key. I safely stored my recovery kit next. And absolutely, this is going to be your recovery kit if you want to access from a different device. So I'm going to go with the green. I like blue or green. So yeah, I'm going to go with the blue. I'm going to go next. Sign in and all right. And we are inside Passbolt right now. So I'm really kind of like curious to discover it more. This is like the basic functionality. Let's create a password, okay? We're gonna go to create password. Let's name it try hack me, okay? And if you wanna go with the URL, of try hack me here, you go with the login. This is gonna make it more organized. So we're gonna go, we try hack the link. Okay, so this is the login page, try hack me. I'm gonna take this one, copy it, and we go to the URI. Uh, okay, this is random, and it can generate for you a password. Absolutely here, it can make it absolutely strong randomly, and it really meets the requirement of any strong password. So advanced password generation, what do we have here? So here, absolutely, you can control the length, you can control the characters, and even like if you want a passphrase, All right, this is really interesting. I'm gonna go to create. All right, so you need your passphrase to continue. Here, I'm gonna go with this one. And you have here like the ability to control, you know, how many minutes you can remember this password. And even like you can do it until you log out. So we're gonna go to okay. Awesome. So everything is fine right now. So we have here the password, theory, whatever. So what if I want to just access Try Hack Me right now and make my login? So you go to Try Hack Me, and basically you get a notice that a small icon of a Passbolt will appear for you here. So I'm gonna click this one, and yeah, everything fine. You have your own password automatically and absolutely your login. And yeah, each website is gonna be super easy to log in with this method using Passbolt. So I think like it offer more than that, and this is the interesting part about it. That if I'm gonna go to my profile and if I wanna go to manage accounts, so here, you have the key inspector. You're gonna have a passphrase. So the passphrase feature here is used to protect your private key locally. A really basic concept. So it starts on your device and never transmitted to the server. Okay. So this is interesting, but here we have like an interesting notice that changing your passphrase will only update on your current device and browser profile. Now, if you use Passbolt in multiple browsers or devices, you will need to update the passphrase on each actual like device individually. You have literally to keep this in your mind. So, all right. So here you'll have your security token. Here you have the theme. They have really great ones. So they have like if you're a Midgar fan team or even like a solarized dark one, you can go with one of the theme. We have a multi-factor authentication. Uh, Contactor administrator to enable multi-factor authentication. So yes, I'm gonna show you how we can do that. You have a mobile setup here, so you can download basically the mobile and you can synchronize your passphrases. Okay, so here if I'm gonna go organization settings, if you're an admin of a Passbolt and you manage the passphrases and Passbolt globally in your company, so you have the multiple options. Now, when it comes to homes here, you have information about the descriptions, metadata, you have the multi-factor authentication, and even the single sign-on. If you're gonna go to multi-factor authentication, here absolutely I can enable this feature. um, yeah, I mean, it exists a lot of things to discover. If I want to go back to organization setting, um, here, if you want to go to password configuration and control the password expiry. So yeah, here, for example, you have this information. Password automatically expires when a user or group with that user who has accessed the password is removed from the permission list. Super clear, to manage the password expiry. Okay. So the password is no longer marked as expired whenever the password is updated. Absolutely. If you want to just update your password, so this is not gonna make it ranked or not gonna make it listed as expired password. Here about the password policy. So here, if you want to go to the pro feature and you want to control the password policy more, so when it comes to the authentication, yeah, here we have some pro features here, like a single sign-on, account recovery. Yeah, and absolutely, what I like about the email server, that we have a lot to say about it here. So absolutely, here, you will need to configure that email web server, and I think even you can control the email notification. This is a fabulous feature. And basically, like the email server gonna send you each update, that happened on a Passbolt and many, many other things. So here, for example, is when the password is created, gonna notify you. When a password is updated, it's gonna notify you or delete it or share it. So it share everything with you about the password. Even about the folders, when a folder is updated, when a folder is deleted, share it. So it's gonna give you basically a vision or kind of like a monitoring about everything happen in a Passbolt. So you have here like even when a group manager or a member of a group change, you have a registration and recovery, the password expiry, and even like here you can control everything here with the email content visibility. Okay, so I mean the configuration of an email here server is a must. Okay, and to be honest, you have to do it in order to receive a lot of information or notification about what happening inside a basketball, and this is gonna give you a clear vision again. So, yeah, I mean, you can discover it more and discover its features, but I like, the way of its functionality. It seems like offer a lot, and even like the free version, I like it. It's really amazing, and it works. If you're an individual, I want to just use it for individual use. If you're a business or if you're a company, I totally recommend Passport because, yeah, as you can see, it's totally a rich one, super easy to install, and really adaptive. Now, I think that I'm gonna get this question now. How we can implement our auto-signed certificate inside of the solution itself? This is basically gonna be answered through the file that I created, and I'm gonna share it with you in the comment. So here, we need basically to create our certificate, and then we're gonna update the Docker Compose file. So we're gonna go through steps, step by step, and show you how we can control the content of a Docker Compose file of a Passport in order to meet our needs. Okay, so we're gonna play with the certificate right now. So first thing first, you gotta just create, a kind of the directory here. So we're gonna go here. So we're gonna first of all create our directory. Let's name it certs. Okay, seems perfect. Then to back to our uh, file configuration here. What do we need right now is to use the OpenSSL to generate our private key. Okay, so we're gonna just back here. We're gonna generate our private key. All right, for sure, we're gonna generate our private key. So let's go and create our private key here. Amazing. So it's created there. What we need next is to create our CCR, which is the certificate of signing request. So I'm gonna go to the OpenSSL and absolutely I'm gonna create this one. Yeah, here you need basically to specify some informations, where are you located, and all this kind of stuffs. Okay, so just be sure that when you're gonna get this, you're gonna type Passbolt point local or whatever. How do you need this one? Okay, yeah, it depends on you, and you want to really put on your certificate. So yeah, and here we go. I think like we are all set up. Seems perfect. Awesome. Okay. So what we will need right now is to create our self-signed certificate. So we're gonna just sign this one. All right. And here we go. So as you can see, like we have the certificate here and we have already the key. So what are we gonna do right now? We gonna back to the Docker Compose, and here in the volume, we're gonna specify here's the path of the certificate. So yeah, here it depends absolutely the path that you have on your computer. Absolutely, here you're gonna go to the Docker Compose and update the file with the path of the certificate that you created. Okay, so it depends the path that you're using. For me, I'm using this path. Great. So we're gonna just save this one. Okay, so it's saved, and right now we're gonna back to Portainer again, and we're gonna go with the templates. We're gonna go to the custom. We have already the Passbolt one. Let's say it's an update of this one. Let's say it's a Passbolt 2. Okay, or even like, I can name it Passbolt 4, it depends on the name that you want to put here. So you go here in the Passbolt, you're gonna edit this one. So yes, absolutely, you can put it directly here, if you want. So, but since I made the editing on this file, I'm gonna just copy and paste it again. So just go to this one, and I'm gonna paste the new configuration, which include the path to my certificate. And right now, I'm gonna update the templates. I'm gonna go with a new name, say Passbolt 4, and I'm gonna deploy the stack. So gonna be faster this time because already we have the images. So we are deploying that. Okay, so just fell here, but I have just to verify if that will deploy or not. So, and here, I'm gonna get, like Passbolt here. If I'm gonna go to Passbolt, so here, absolutely, I'm gonna go to accepting the risk. And yeah, here, if I'm gonna go to the connection, I want to see more information about that. And I want to see the certificate itself. Here we go. So as you can see, right now the certificate is updated with my information and already deployed successfully if you want to check the certificate. And guys, using a password manager is super important. And absolutely, if you want to use a password manager, I think you have to select wisely. And I think Passbolt, it's one of the great solutions in the market. So guys, I'm gonna leave you all the links about the configurations. Don't hesitate if you have any questions to reach me out on LinkedIn and ask your question about a Passbolt. So I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and just comment below what you want to see and what kind of reviews that you want to watch on my YouTube channel for the next period. Thank you so much. This is Hamdi, and see you soon.